Well, hello there. Going to have a quick look today at some of the pocket DAB radios that are available fairly cheaply and freely from Amazon. You might well ask, justifiably, why would you need a dedicated radio these days with the likes of smart speakers and the capabilities of your mobile phone or tablet or whatever, which is perfectly valid. I quite often use my phone for listening to radio or my smart speaker. It's really quick, easy and convenient, isn't it? But I really like to have a dedicated radio when I'm in the bathrooms in the morning or having a shower, getting ready, whatever. I like to just flick a radio on for some background information, mainly in the morning. For many years, maybe 20 years or so, I've used this Roberts Sports 925 little FM AM radio. It's got long wave on as well. I just have that on Radio 4, whack it on in the mornings. No DAB, just takes two AA batteries in there. Battery life's amazing. It lasts for months and months, literally months on end, on a single set of AA batteries. That's great, fine. I whack it on in the mornings. But I don't always want to listen to Radio 4. I find it a bit fiddly for retuning to other stations. So yeah, I've quite fancied having DAB in the bathroom as well for when I get a bit sick of Radio 4 and want something else on. This has been a brilliant, reliable, trusty radio. Can't fault it. It sounds decent for its size. Great stuff. But I wanted to look for a radio with DAB to give me a lot more choice. There's arguments about the quality of DAB versus FM, say, but undeniably DAB allows for more station choice. And in radios this sort of size, you're not exactly going to get hi-fi sound, are you? Another reason why I love having a dedicated small pocket radio is for if I go away on hauls or other things that take me away from home for significant amounts of time. I don't always have Wi-Fi signal some of the places I go to, so I like to have a radio for information, company, music, whatever, entertainment when I don't have Wi-Fi. So I think a radio is still useful in the modern world. There's going to be some audio comparisons between these radios at the end of the video. They were just recorded using my iPhone's inbuilt speakers, but I think you still can pick up the difference in the quality of the speakers on these four units. I'm not going to talk about this radio in the review, apart from to say I've just included it for comparisons of the audio at the end. I think this is probably pound for pound for size the best radio you can buy at the minute. The sound quality is awesome. It looks amazingly cute. Not exactly a pocket radio though, is it? And it was like expensive, 90 quid or something. So a little pocket radio, something I can bung in the bathroom. I don't mind so much if steam gets into it and eventually will kill it. I haven't damaged this one too much in the last 20 years. Yeah, these were fairly cheap and really small, tiny, can slip into a pocket, can slip into a bag. A useful item to have, I think. This one I've had for about 3 years, I think. I don't even know the name of it, the Chinese manufacturer's name or anything. I can't remember. It's got Walk Radio written on there, and this was, I think, 20 quid. Around 20 quid. They still sell tons based on this exact same chassis, mostly in yellow, on Amazon for about 30 odd quid now they are. But this is, it's alright. It's nice and small. It's decent. The menu system is hardly that intuitive, but once you've figured it out, it's good. There's a slot for a memory card there if you want to play your own music or audiobook files or whatever. That's good. Telescopic aerial, DAB, FM or SD card. I don't actually know whether this one's got Bluetooth on it or not. I mean, you wouldn't want to listen to your own music really broadcast through this speaker. It's hardly hi-fi. The sound is okay for a tiny radio. Not very detailed. Obviously almost no bass. More bass than this one. But yeah, it's got a little lock switch, headphone socket, presets, sleep timer, easily accessible on there. That's quite handy. A mute button, which does come in useful, and there's the mode button on there. Up and down buttons for volume. Not a massive fan of that, but most of these sort of radios have buttons rather than a thumb wheel. Internal battery, USB, the old micro USB charging. That's a bit old hat now, isn't it? But that works okay. It doesn't say any information about what size the battery is. I'd estimate battery life around 8 hours for this. That's okay, that's fine. So yeah, that's okay, that little radio. These are about 30 odd quid now, 32, 34 quid I think on Amazon, this equivalent or similar generic, this exact shell. It's not bad. This one is the Azatom Pro Sports S2. As you can see, this was 35 quid from Amazon. I should say it's the 5th of May 2024, so 35 quid. It's got a really nice big display on there. Really liked that. Tiny little lovely form factor. Again, clicky up and down volume buttons. If you accidentally press long on there, you go into some kind of menu thing, which isn't great. A lock switch, which is good. Headphone socket. This is USB-C charging, which is excellent. What a bonus. Yeah, welcome to the new world. Battery is rated to be by Azatom, and the literature included with the radio at 1800 milliamp hours, and they say 15 to 20 hours battery life, which is kind of the reason I got this one. We'll see about that. I've only literally just got it. A long aerial, but my god, this thing is so thin. I don't fancy its chances much, but it seems to pick up signals really well. Both of these two pulling signals much better than this one. So yeah, nice little form factor. Not many buttons, no dedicated preset buttons or anything. I'm not a fan of clicky volume buttons. It's not that intuitive, but the thing that really lets this down is the speaker. This is so tinny, honestly. It sounds like a tin full of wasps for audio. For speech, it's bearable. For music, it's appalling, really. I was very disappointed with the speaker quality of this one as soon as I switched this one on. So yeah, this one was a bit of a letdown and it's going back. This one is the Raddy RD23 DAB Plus / FM radio, apparently. Never heard of Raddy. It looks like a terrible cheap bit of nasty plastic, doesn't it? But I have to say the sound quality on this is really impressive for its size. I read a load of reviews. Obviously I always do that before making purchases, and a load of reviews were saying how good the sound quality is, and I was of the opinion that yeah, these are no-name knobheads who haven't got a clue saying it sounds good, but it was in so many reviews that that's the reason I pulled the trigger on this one. I figured free delivery, free returns, I'll just send it back when I realise it's trash. But it's really not. It sounds really impressive for the size, and this is the one that I'm going to be keeping, and this is the one that I'm going to be using. Couldn't find much info about the battery on this one. All these have inbuilt batteries. USB-C charging, excellent. Micro USB charging on this one, wherever it is there, and unfortunately micro USB charging on this one as well, but you know, it is what it is. This one was $29.99 from Amazon UK, 5th of May 2024, and yeah, it's a really impressive little unit. Really like it. You've got some dedicated presets buttons on here. I haven't even looked at the instruction manual. Really easy. You find your station, press and hold on the number, and it saves your preset to there. Really good. I love it when radios have dedicated preset buttons rather than having to scroll through menus. Oh, what's all this? I don't know, rubbish. So this is much better. Scroll through your stations and that with these, and press OK for whatever it is you're doing in your menus or whatever. It's got a little lock on it, really handy for travelling and stuff, so it's not set off in your bag or whatever. One of the things, it's got a USB stick socket there. You want a USB stick in there with your music on, okay, and a little memory card slot as well for your own music or audiobooks or whatever. Headphone socket. It's got a very similar long but really delicate end of the aerial, just like the Azatom did. I must say this pulls in signals really well, like the Azatom. So I've only had this a couple of hours, but I've just been having the aerial up like that with no problems whatsoever. Really good reception. I think both of these can be used as a Bluetooth speaker. I wouldn't use that, it sounds terrible, but I would use that as a backup Bluetooth speaker to play music off my phone and stuff, because the speaker's really good. In fact, it's made me a bit cross that these Chinese guys can produce this excellent little speaker, and Azatom have put this Really appalling little speaker on there. This one was cheaper and it sounds loads better. Yeah, battery life, I couldn't find, I'm not sure if this is right, but I did find somewhere that this has got a 700 milliamp hour battery in it. So, I mean, I'd expect battery life to be about 8 hours on this sort of thing. That's fine. It's got a dedicated sliding on-off switch. I like that. That's great, rather than having to press and hold some button for a few seconds. On-off, brilliant. And the other thing I really like about this one, it's got a thumb wheel volume control. Hallelujah. No clicking and really loud clicking on these plasticky buttons. A thumb wheel. A dedicated thumb wheel for volume. That's more like it. This is a great little radio, tiny. I hope the battery's decent. Like I say, I only got it today, but this is the one I'll be keeping. This is the one I'll be using. It's going to replace my trusty, faithful old Roberts. This one will go in the bathroom for my morning and evening routines, whatever, and is the one that I'll take away when I know or expect I'm not going to have good Wi-Fi signal to use my phone. But yeah, it's got this little rubber base as well. Nice touch. Stop it sliding about. Someone commented on my last video that it was really boring. Well, it was just a video reviewing some radios. So for that guy, here's an explosion for you. So let's just have a little sound comparison between these units, and you can decide for yourself. But I'd highly recommend this one as a little travel device. Really good. 30 quid. Really decent speaker. I mean, it's not earth shattering, is it? It's not going to blow your bowels out with bass, but there is some warmth to this speaker, and it's really nicely tuned. The mids and the highs sound the best out of these. This doesn't compare to this, but it's really good, really decent and cheap. Yeah. Thanks very much, guys, and hope you're enjoying your day. Ta-ra!
Change of government at some point in the next year. If and when Labour come into Downing Street, they're going to inherit this landscape of devolved government, used particularly in terms of delivery, because they are going to want to presumably hit the ground running to show that they've made some tangible progress. Well,
if you look at what Gordon Brown, the former Prime Minister, wrote in a long paper for this Power out of London in an equivalent way.
yeah, and I think for me, one of the questions...
My life, and the sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine.